All right, guys, we'll get started here shortly. All right, good evening, everyone. I'm your co-host, Jason Clark, here on Revival, Mississippi. We got our host. He's out there in East Coast, United States, over there in D.C., taking care of some business for us. Whatnot, though, I believe he may call in this evening and check in on us and give us an update. But if not here, we got a good lineup for you guys this evening. Whatnot, though. But as we always say when we first start the show, is whatnot, though. We want to always keep everybody in mind of those who are in bereavement. People are constantly leaving us here, and even though those loved ones are gone, they have their family members that are still here, and we always want to make sure we keep those guys in prayers. Okay, guys, and also we got to make sure to take care of our sponsors. I saw the weather's kind of changing right now. It dropped and everything, and I only thought about those elders who need a ride to church, who need to get around, grocery shopping, all that good stuff. But I also know there's a transportation company named by Michael George Transportation. And they are there to help you guys in anything you guys may need. And I'm talking about for people who are including handicap services, whatnot, though, or you got large events coming up here in the springtime and the summer coming up here. Let's make sure we keep those guys in mind, whatnot, though, when you actually look for some great transportation. That's Michael George Transportation service. Also, we into this fast food market here, but hey, it's not like a down-home, good cooked burger. And I'm talking about over there on Dalton Street, over there in Tigerland. That's no other than the Stamps Burgers. Mr. Stamps, he loves his big old hamburger, cow burger. I'm working on him. And he loves his fries, his lemon pepper fries at that. But guys know me, I'm trying to get on this vegan journey here, and I love the little garden burger they have over there, and I definitely love my sweet potato fries. Yes, ma'am. I know. They're good. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our show here. Our first guest is no stranger at all. Phenomenal individual as she is already. Ms. Ames, how you been doing, man?
Good.
So I hear you got some great things to tell us about, great announcements this evening. So I want to spend a little time about that and how you want to come to us in your own way. Go ahead and talk to us.
Good evening. How is everyone doing out there? I'm not sure if I can say it's great news.
Well,
it's disappointing news to me, but we're going to deal with it.
Well, obstacles are sometimes opportunities.
Right. They're put there for a reason.
They're put there for a reason.
Yeah.
We don't address them. Then
right.
It's going to fall to the next generation.
Stay
next
on the side of the wall.
Okay.
Go around it.
Yes, ma'am.
Over it, dig under it,
yes,
right?
yes, ma'am. Yes,
so
ma'am.
That's what we're doing. Yes. So I am here. I wanted to come in and specifically speak to the voters that vote at Word of Christ Church. That's precinct 59, 3051 J.R. Lynch Street. The Board of Supervisors, or the supervisor for the 3rd district, has moved Word of Christ Church, number 59, to Black's Chapel.
Okay.
So if you vote at Word of Christ Church normally, you usually vote there. You will not be voting there. You will need to go to Black's Chapel. That's Black's Chapel, 3425 Robinson Street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For those of you that are going to need transportation, I need you to take this number down, 601-213-8018. And we're going to work on getting transportation for those folks that need rides to vote.
Okay.
These are a couple of the obstacles we're
talking
about.
Right.
We're going to try to fix the problem and make sure that it's not a problem. Okay. Because a lot of people walk to vote.
Yeah, I know.
Or they have to call and catch rides.
Mm-hmm.
And so Word of Christ Church on Lynch Street is not even close to Black's Chapel. Okay. So that's going to be a hike for some people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to me. You can shoot me a text and say, hey, I'm calling you about, a ride to the polls, or any other information regarding the March 12th primary. The last thing that I have, and I need y'all to just hold on tight. Get a pen and a piece of paper because you're gonna want to take these down. There is a proposal on the table at the with the Hinds County Board of Supervisors, specifically District 3. All of these changes these are changes that are supposed to take place according to our supervisor by April 1st.
Okay.
Okay. Now the one I just told you is in effect for the March 12th. What I'm about to tell you now, going forward, this is what these are a couple of hurdles that we're going to have to cover.
Okay.
So precincts 54, 55, 56, 57, and 59 will all be combined, and they will vote at 62. Now, 54 is a career development center.
Yeah.
If you vote at the career development center after this primary, you will be voting at Black's Chapel. If you vote at the police training center, that's precinct 55. After the primary is over, that's the move that they're going to make, or they're attempting to make. Okay. If you vote at fire station number 6, which is number 56, precinct 56, you will go to Black's Chapel. Okay. And then 57 is Pecan Park Elementary School, which is closing or has closed, is closing. You will vote at Black's Chapel. And that is supposed to go into effect. We are definitely going to try to have a conversation with the supervisor to see if she is willing to allow us to find alternative sites so that those folks somewhere in that neighborhood, so that we don't lose those voters.
Yeah, that is for those who don't know, but a lot of those people are kind of community based.
They are,
and they have a history. I mean, years and decades.
They do. They are our super voters. They vote every election.
I know, and so I know somebody probably listening right now, and they probably don't understand that this is where we got to be more engaged and involved about what's going on here.
So the second one is precincts 60, 61, and 21 will be combined, proposed to be combined, and they will vote at precinct 21. So that's Lake Elementary School, which is closing. Then you have Jane Avenue Citizen Center, and you have Kurt's Gym. So 60, 61, and 61, and 21 will be combined, and they will vote at Kurt's Gym, way over there on Woodrow Wilson. Okay. Yes. The third change.
Hold on now.
Precincts. Yes. This is a proposal. This is the end game when it comes to our precincts. Okay. And I want everyone to understand and recognize also, I haven't called a precinct east of 55.
No, I'm waiting for that. Okay. But this is on my side of town.
Right. Yeah. No, I haven't called. I haven't named a precinct east of 55. We're talking about our own communities right here. All right. Precincts 73 and 69 will be combined, and they will vote at precinct 69. So Key Elementary School will vote at Apostolic Restoration Ministry. Okay. Precinct 74 and 92 on the verge to be combined. So if you vote at Marshall Elementary School, precinct 74, you will be voting at Oak Forest Elementary School, precinct 92. So those precincts, the numbers that I call, they will no longer exist after this primary, unless we can have the conversation that I asked the other day at the board meeting, the Hinds County work session. And all I asked was that if we can all sit down at a table, everyone that has teeth in the game, citizens, NAACP, Democratic Party, neighborhood associations, and sit down and look at the maps. Let's look and see if there are and where there are places that we can not dissolve a precinct, but move it to another location within that district. That way we don't lose voters, and voters don't feel as though this is suppression. They're being
Yeah.
suppressed.
So
That's what it is,
so-
voter suppression.
So my question is, I mean, and I'm not saying I don't know the answer to the question, but there's a rubric to this. There's a method to why they have to consolidate, or why they're proposing to consolidate things and ship or redistribute people.
So
to
I'll
other
tell
places.
you,
Yes.
for as long as I can remember,
Mhm.
the Republican Party has always introduced these changes.
Okay.
And notice, I still to this day, I have not called to this at this very moment. I haven't said anything about precincts that are east of 55.
Okay.
Okay. So the objective, the idea is to make it more difficult for our folks to vote. It's a plan. And if we don't get in front of it, this is what we'll be left with. So I asked, as a matter of fact, Supervisor Evers told me, don't have a meeting without making sure that she's there. She wants to be involved. She wants to be involved. And these precincts aren't in her district, but she still wants to be involved.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she actually had to move one of her precincts, but what she did was she put it in the same location, in the same area, and they're still separate. They're separate polling locations. Okay. So that's R1 and R2. So if you vote in Raymond 1, you know where to go. You vote in Raymond 2, you're going to vote exactly where they are, and so all of that is taken care of. The ones that are coming up, the last ones that I just read to you, those concern me. They concern a lot of us.
You know, I've been home, I want to say since 2008, and that's a very long time to a degree back home. But I would say in the last 10 years, we've been doing some heavily precinct changing. I'm talking about quite more frequently than others. Right. So I don't know. I know some things into it, but it's like, what's really needed? Because we have senior citizens who actually, are super voters, and most of the transportation are not like in any different other districts. So I'm not saying that's going to deter them from not going out there and still voting, but it puts another hindrance on them in some type of fashion.
It does.
Some type of fashion or not.
It does. And so we want to have those conversations, and we want to make sure that everyone's at the table, that we lay this thing out. We lay out Hinds County. Look at where our precincts are. Not just west of 55, but east of 55, if we're going to do that, because on Old Canton Road, there are 4 or 5 precincts. Yeah. And they're on the road. They're just as close in proximity to each other as the precincts that I just called off
less than a mile
on this side. Yes.
Less than I want to say almost a quarter mile. Right. So I don't know if they deal with the density. I don't know, what's the issue.
That's my question. That's our question. And we hope to be able to get an answer to that. But I do know that this is something that the Republican Party has been trying to enact for many years. It's always been a fight, always a fight. And I'm up for a good fight. So.
Oh yeah, but my thing is, many of us have come here, and we'll keep on coming through here to fight. Right. But my thing is that the foundation you can stand on, the community is there involved and engaged. Right. Not the few that have been doing for the last 20, 30, 40 years. I'm talking about, we got to get more serious about this thing, whatnot, though. Anything else you have for me?
No, I just want to make sure that
come here and lay it on me.
March is saying 12. I can hang out.
Okay, then.
March the 12th is the presidential primary.
Yes, okay,
then. President Joe Biden is on the ballot. Yes, Congressman Benny Thompson is on the ballot, and our candidate for Senate, Ty Pinkins, is on the ballot. So. What I am asking of all the listeners, everyone that's out there, please, please, please take people with you to vote. The first thing that came out of their mouths was very few people vote in those precincts anyway, and that cut like a knife. So they cut like a knife.
Some people can lose an election by one vote.
By one vote.
Right. I don't know how I can take that.
No, they can't. They have. It happened in Rankin County, if you recall correctly.
Yeah, I know.
The gentleman took his loss he took his L and he went on home. And it was one vote. He actually lost by one vote. But we really and truly need to dispel this. And I've met with several of our of the Hinds County delegation. I met with several of them at the Capitol. It was Senator Frazier, Senator Blunt, Representative Banks, Representative Gibbs, Representative Summers. She's very engaged. So
I mean, you named two right there. I mean, right now she's from where she lives.
I mean, yes. So I make sure that when I get information that I reach out to them, because number one, we need their support, but more than anything, I know that they're good stewards.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know. So that's where we are. And
what's you got any contact information for those who are listening who want to call in or give you a shout? What now though?
601-213-8018.
All right, 8018. But Miss Amos, is always a pleasure. I always see another person on the front line fighting for us and helping us out. But that is some good information you actually dropped on us this evening. I'm pretty sure we probably have to do another update because that's right around the corner.
Yeah, we will.
And I know last minute Black Chapel is a
yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
It's
and I mean, I love Black Chapel. Don't get me wrong. But you're looking at over 5,000 voters.
I know.
Over 5,000 voters. So March 12th, I need those folks to get to the polls and vote. Let's shut down this notion that we don't vote anyway, because that's what they're saying. Over is resounding over and over again. So that's their rationale. That's
a whole conversation right there. We'll invite you back on here. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for everything.
Welcome.
All right, we got our next guest coming up here. He's definitely no stranger. He's back in my woods, down there in Fayette land and hardcore land down there. Representing, how you been doing there, sir?
I've been doing pretty good.
I know you just left out the Capitol.
I did.
I do appreciate you taking the time though to come just give us an update. I know you had a lot of bills you was pushing this session or during this session, and I know you guys had a lot going on. I do know you don't know if you have any words to speak on the Medicaid bill that just passed, or I think it just passed the House, headed to the Senate. I don't know what your stance on that is.
Well, of course, it was a historical day.
Yes, sir.
As far as I'm concerned, on the House side.
Yes, sir.
So now the bill goes over to the Senate, and we get an opportunity to see what senators are going to do. The governor, our great governor, has promised us that he's going to veto this bill. I anticipate some changes being made to our bill by the time it moves through the process. But it's good that we can get some individuals in the state some healthcare coverage who otherwise would not be able to afford it or do so.
I mean, one of the main things I believe those who take on that matter of becoming representatives of the populace of the Mississippi is to ensure that we have a better quality of life.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's an easy job that you guys do. A lot of calls, a lot of stress, and you still try to eat and live every day. But one thing we came to do is when we know we have resources out there that can especially take care of our orphans, the children, and the seniors. We got to make sure we're doing our part. But if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here. So that's some of the things I'm concerned about a little bit personally. I'm not in those shoes as you guys are, but
where you are too, Jason.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
You're an advocate. You're pushing the envelope. Being here on the show, getting the citizens informed on what's going on. You are, in the shoes. And I appreciate the work you do, trying to advocate for some of the things and the needs of the citizens of the state. A person should not have to decide whether to pay their house note or their rent, or pay or get health insurance. And we're supposed to live in the greatest civilization mankind has ever seen, and people are afraid to go to the doctor because they don't know how they're going to pay their medical bills. And so I'm happy that the leadership, the speaker, allowed the bill to come to the floor. and I think we had a 96-20 vote today. And hopefully we can get the same thing on the Senate side, and that way it wouldn't matter if the governor vetoes it or not.
I got you. Well, I don't know if you knew this. When I first came out from the military, I got my bachelor's in healthcare administration. So I worked at the VA. My grandma used to own a personal care home. Okay, and then so got a lot of clients from the state hospital. So I'm more into this thing. Matter of fact, when I came home, I took care of my grandfather. And I got my first-hand experience dealing with Medicaid and Medicare.
Right.
Okay, because he had some he had some bills and some prescriptions he needed to take care of, and grandson didn't have it all. Okay, then and he eventually transitioned that year. But I'm just saying that it's a lot of people who actually need those services that this bill can actually assist in.
Exactly.
And that's all I'm saying right there is, I know we got to look at the numbers and do all this stuff, how it's going to get paid for and all that. But, citizens need to get involved on both parties. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, everybody, black, white, they need to get more involved on some of these common sense things that we all agree upon.
Exactly.
So give me some things you've been working on yourself, or some bills you've been collaborating with, co-authoring with. Let us know what you got going on down there.
Well, this first session, I have some bills that are challenging. One of it being I have some bills that's going to address the inequities in funding to historically black colleges and universities in the state. The Biden administration sent a letter to our governor saying that Alcorn has been underfunded somewhere in the tune of $270 million. So, of course, I drafted a bill to ask for the money back, but I also drafted some other bills. I'm calling for a task force to do an audit of appropriations made to Alcorn, but also, we need equal. We need to get, this stuff has to stop. We need to get more funding to our colleges and universities, historically black colleges.
I'm Jackson State graduate. So I mean, back in 2008, they had that big deal. A lot of people don't know this or remember this. When they were trying to consolidate Alcorn, Jackson State, and I think Mississippi Valley at that time. So I came from military, and boom, I'm seeing stuff that I don't really know. I don't really quite understand.
Crazy.
Okay, then. But then historically, when you look at it historically, it puts a lot of sense on why we have what's going on now. I work for MAE, so I dealt with the underfunding when it comes to costs, depends on what district you're part of. So none of this stuff you're saying is brand new, but how do we help? Now, how does citizens actually get involved and help you guys out, man? I'm talking about long-term planning, because you already know, you're gonna have some wins, gonna have some losses, but what's the long-term plan? Because you're not just taking time out of energy. Now, tell me if I'm right or wrong to coming up and drafting all this stuff.
Well, that's the purpose of some of the legislation that I've drafted in reference to funding. It's a long-term plan to first of all show the inadequacies, and then the next step is to build upon that and try to fix the problem. So that's the purpose of the bill. To show the inadequacies by creating a task force to study the inadequacies of funding to HBCUs and Alcorn as far as being a land-grant university. And also then we need to start working on a remedy to, bring us up to speed and bring our funding up to where it should be.
But what is that? When you put that out there, my question is, what does that solution look like on a you put it in brittle for me if you can. What is that? I mean, where does that source come from? Is that
well, the money comes from the state. It's about the money. I mean,
so the state has the money.
I'm just going to, give
it to me.
The state doesn't have $250 million to write a check tomorrow to give Alcorn what it's supposed to have, or give Jackson State or Valley what it's supposed to have. But we can do some things through legislation that can correct those problems over time. Okay. You got what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We can go from we could start at infrastructure. I mean, as far as dormitories, classroom buildings, then we can move on to degrees to degree granting programs. I feel like we need in a law school and a medical school at one of our HBCUs.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. That's the one thing I'm not gonna. I know we're trying to revive Mississippi, and I can tell you, you're not gonna be able to do that if you don't have a law school. I'm not. Nothing against we got 2 in the state. I think we got two or three in the state.
It's 2.
Yeah, 2 in the state. I'm not saying that against those 2, but I'm just going to say that, especially people who have a history of dealing with the state, you're going to have to understand the laws so you can make it. You're a lawyer yourself, so you know how to interpret things. Right. If not that, it's a law thing. Then you're talking about the medical side of that's $1 trillion industry. That's jobs. That's what I'm looking at. Go ahead, sir.
Well, and I think it's important that we fund them, and I think that our political, our municipalities that are surrounding our HBCUs need to embrace them more. You have Jackson State here. You have Ida Bena, Greenwood area. You have Valley, and of course in Southwest Mississippi is Alcorn. And what we want to try to do is try to embrace the universities more, because they are the cornerstones of economic development, workforce development. Of course, with your JUCOs, people. We have people. We have skilled workers in our areas. If they don't want to help us develop our areas, then we're gonna have to help ourselves.
I mean, you can't do nothing unless you take care of home first. That's from one level of thinking. We're talking about the economic development side of it. I guess call me old school, whatever you may call me, Jeff. But my thing is, the institution is there to provide solutions for not just presently, but for long term. Right. And sometimes what I don't understand is, because I've been around the whole world, they send their students to actually go learn this, do this, and fix this problem we got right here. Right. Okay, then I don't understand why we're not doing that more aggressively if we are doing it, but more aggressively, here in the state of Mississippi, especially the areas you just named. Because if you don't utilize them, that thing, sooner or later they start to die out. Or the town around it would die out too.
Well, I agree with you 100%. That's the reason why I'm challenging leaders in our areas to embrace our universities and junior colleges that we have there as far as economic development is concerned. Okay. This problem, our issues are not going to be resolved overnight. Everything is a work in progress.
Government's slow. I'm gonna tell you that. Right
that's one of the problems.
I'm just telling you something to learn. Go ahead.
We have so many brilliant minds and so much talent.
Yes, sir.
That we should be able to, accomplish great things, in our areas.
I mean, and I know Arthur has some great programs down there, that actually stands out. I'm looking at Jack State right down the street. They have a great engineer building. I saw some things. I know you mentioned infrastructure. I think it was the Ayers case where these HBCUs, they received certain things, but holistically they was on a chessboard move. I look at a chessboard. You didn't have the funding for other things. So when you're mentioning, infrastructure, you saying more grants, dormitories, just like your house, you got maintenance over so many years, and certain things can't stand up forever. They got to be torn down, and in present day value 20 years ago is 10 times more for construction. So you're not saying that we should be doing. I'm just trying to make sure, do people see are they seeing the excellence that you're trying to push from your local leaders too?
Yeah, I'm pushing the envelope on that real big.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, and we're going to develop a economic development team.
Okay.
And we're going to use Alcorn State University as the base for that economic development. And that's going to pretty much take care of Southwest Mississippi as well.
Okay.
We also use the junior colleges, and that's something that we need to talk about.
You're right.
The junior colleges that are located in the predominantly African American communities in the state are suffering. We met with individuals from Coahoma Junior College and Utica, Hines Junior College in Utica in my backyard.
You're right.
And but I go to some of these other JUCOs and they are.
Hold on, let me take that call right quick.
Go ahead.
Hello, caller, you on the air?
How you doing, Brother Clark?
Doing fine. How you doing, Mr. Bird?
Oh man, y'all got a great topic and a great thing about the future, because our higher education needs the funding, needs the planning, needs the people.
Yes, sir.
Y'all on a great topic, man.
Oh, you got it.
I just want to know.
Go ahead.
I have a question in reference to this new proposed bill that came out about closing through it. Can you elaborate on that? Or is it going to come out of committee or what?
Now, we've been talking about that an awful lot in the last, this week. From what I can hear, hopefully from what I hear, the bill probably won't make it out of committee. And that's where it needs to stay. I don't know who this, I know this guy, he owns poke sausages. If he wants to close university down, we need to close poke sausages down.
All right. Any other question, Mr. Bird?
Yes, sir. I guess I think that's what leads into
the
high school and junior high school level. We need to make sure that we understand civics and the power of the vote.
But
I tell my people all the time, we have to learn how a bill becomes a law and the motive behind people when they be trying to push these type of agendas.
I agree with you, sir. There are some bills out there that right now that emphasize making mandatory civics being mandatory in curriculums in the school. So I'm right. I agree with you 100%. I can recall taking civics when I was in high school. I really enjoyed it. That's probably one of the things.
Hold on. You telling me they had it there? It was in school.
Does that mean on the public and private side, or
I went to public schools. I went to public schools in Jefferson County. I took civics, government.
Okay, I'm not even making a joke here. I'm like really serious because I had U.S. history, I had American history, but this one-on-one from city council, I'm talking about the real life stuff. Understanding how civic, how government actually functions on a local level.
I was taught that in high school.
See, that's something. I've been cheated in.
I'm going to take Mississippi history in high school. Mississippi high school and civics. So that's why the average person doesn't understand how a bill becomes a law. Then we had something called, some rock. When cartoon came on Saturday morning, we watched cartoons. I
remember the song, but that we need some more practical. No offense, like OJT for me. You got anything else, Mr. Bird?
I don't know, nothing but just you keep doing what you're doing, and
yes, sir.
We have a great topics online, and of course, the upcoming event. But I wait and come do that next month. We got 2 more days. Enjoy what's left of our Black History Month.
All right, appreciate it, Mr. Bird.
Okay.
All right, sir. And I know it kind of sounds, it may sound funny that I mention it like that, but I'm being honest with you. I'm not just using my example. I came back home, man, and I got my degree from Jackson State, 4-year degree in 2 years, and I got tired of seeing what I was seeing, so I started my own community center. And then months of doing that, at that time it was candidate DeKeither Steps running for office. He heard about me. And we just linked up.
Right.
But that first 6 months working with him, man, people need to be more engaged and involved. What's really going on? I'm serious.
Right.
Because they don't really understand some of these basic things from the school board level. Okay, then from the city council level, from the supervisors level. Now you coming to the state rep. Because I'm just saying that they don't really understand how hard it is in that fight. Because my next question was for you is all these great things you want to do and pass. But my thing is sometimes you got to go across the aisle to get some things done. So I'm asking you, like, have you had those type of discussions or you see that you got some, because it has to be collaboration.
you definitely had to go across the aisle. And I've been doing that, talking with Republicans in the legislature.
So you're trying to get things done for real. You're not just sitting here on an island and just say, well, they don't want to do it, forget it.
Half of your job, or more than half of your job, let me say this is about building relationships if you're in the legislature.
Okay.
I mean, anybody can drop a bill in a box
You're right.
and let it sit there. But if you want to do it, you have to do the work. As my colleague and friend John Hines said, you have to trust the process.
You're right.
And that's what we're doing. You don't always get what you want.
Yes,
sometimes you get half of what you want. Sometimes you don't get nothing, but you have to continue to fight for and continue to, what I would say, work toward your goals.
Now my thing is, but I'm being devil's advocate a little bit though. But if the community, I'm always talking about engage and being involved. But I'm stressing for a reason, over and over for a reason. Economically, if you got your dollars together and you got your votes together as one, that gives you a lot more leverage when you go across the aisle, I believe.
Well, it's all about how many votes you got. You got to have a vote. That's kind of like with this Medicaid expansion bill today. I doubt if the bill would have came to the floor, they didn't have the votes. Nope. And that wasn't even in debate. That wasn't even any questions on everybody was just ready to push it on through.
Because their constituents all want it.
Dying for it.
But I'm saying this though. I see the same thing constituents want it as you want that $207 million for Alcorn. I don't see it no different because the actual Mississippi as a whole going to benefit off from it. You're making sure you're instilling our brighter minds to be more solution oriented for what we need here in Mississippi instead of getting those degrees and where they're going out west or out east or even overseas.
Right.
You got to keep some people here. The commissioner we was going over some numbers about a month ago, and we were talking about population increase and decrease. And I got mad at him. He was like, Jason, ain't a lot of people that ain't moving to Mississippi. I said, no, yes, they have. I'm thinking because I see different people in the community. And he said, no, man, Alabama got an increase and Mississippi we have decrease. There's something we're doing wrong here. Let me take this call right here. Call you on air.
Hey, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Taking my call. I was sitting here listening, which I do religiously.
Yes, sir.
To the various program, but the council on the state house indicated that there was over $2 million that had been extracted from Alcorn. Is that by large from most of the African universities? And if so, what happened to the funding that had been made available previously for those black colleges? And I'll hang up and listen.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you for the call.
So I will correct you on that. It's not $2 million. It's $251 million that has been that we have failed to appropriate to Alcorn State University. And what happened to the money is that they just didn't give it to them. And that's the same thing across the board with all other HBCUs. And I just saying that out of Alcorn, Jackson State, Valley. I mean, all our universities are grossly underfunded. And it really just come down to, hey, I'm gonna give you this, and that's all you need. You take what I give, and that's not right. And
we gotta have a revelation of that now.
Yeah, that is what it is. I mean, Jackson State is in the capital city of our state. I went to Alcorn, but I wholeheartedly support Jackson State in its efforts, Mississippi Valley and their efforts. I wholeheartedly, I understand the importance of all three of the universities' survival in this state and how important it is to the African American communities. What we need to do is right our wrongs. We don't have to fight about it. We don't have to, we're going to end up fighting about it. But if we start correcting those issues right now, as it relates to funding, You know, because it's all at the end of the day, it's all about educating the future citizens of this state, and stop looking at race and color, and start looking at, you know, Mississippi moving forward.
I tell you this, you know, I don't know, maybe I might not even say it, but I would tell you that if you don't start handling some of these, addressing these issues and you know, being done away with it, somebody else is going to just take over. You be working for somebody else. Okay. Your children be working for somebody else. Now, you can take it however you want to receive it. But I'm being serious when I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Because they coming in with a culture and everything else. And they understand this is business. All right. I can go here for free. I can get these skills and train, and I can develop my own community with pride. I don't understand at the end of the day, in what you're mentioning right now, you know, yeah, they're HBCU schools, but at the end of the day, they're Mississippi universities.
Mississippi
universities.
All right.
And so Mississippi University, that is that's an asset. All right. It's not a liability.
Right.
All right. So you want to pour money into your asset so it's sustained for lifetime. You know, when I went to Jackson State, I saw everybody diversity going there. Some people I found that they was going to school for free. Okay, they didn't look like me. So they're alumni too now. so I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't agree with a lot of things, but I'm saying at the end of the day is, you mentioned the Jackson State's in the capital. My issue is that why it's not a college town. Okay, you're talking about bringing economic development around certain, you know, if I go down 49 so far, or I go up 55, make a left over here, left right over there, I know when I come into the town, guess what? I'm in the college town, man. I got billboards everywhere. You know, I got, you see the funding, you know, the marketing, and I'm trying to understand, and I get your frustration to the end of the day. You're like, hey, man, we have money been coming here for eons, and it never got appropriated to the university at all. Now, one issue I have personally is, you know, are we doing well with the money we already got, being stewards of it? Okay, and, you know how that go.
I think that, you know, I mean, there may be some bad.
But it's not the norm though. But I'm saying those things are not norm.
I think our administrators in our schools are doing a good job of being good stewards of the money. They, you know, and I said this to a member of one of the money committee members, and I said, listen, these individuals have been doing good for the pennies and crumbs they've been getting. Yeah,
I got
you. I think you know, there may be some
outliners. I got you. I know.
Right, but our administrators and our universities have been good stewards of the state's money. They've been doing what they can with the resources they've been given. So, you know, what we have to do is, you know, we have bright minds, we are great people, and, you know, the history of this state is so filled and infested with negativity, you know, and we're talking about funding HBCUs, schools that were created specifically for African Americans. These schools were created only pretty much in the South and up the Eastern Seaboard. You know, when you get to places like North Carolina and places like that.
You're right.
And so we still living with that stigma, you know, and we celebrate HBCUs in our culture, but we also, as a whole, we have to start looking at it. We have to start looking at these things, and I'm talking to my Republican friends as the state of Mississippi moving forward. Okay, the state of Mississippi moving forward. The governor, you know, he gets up and he talks a good talk about the new projects that we have, the new job projects that we have, you know, and you do all this talk and you still underfund public education, you still underfund our 3 HBCUs, you know, you're just a hypocrite, you know, basically. And I'm not going to hold my tongue on that.
You're not supposed to talk about anything now on this station, but the thing about it is, though, I go back to the community. If we don't give you the numbers and the finances to actually move and execute, you owned it for so long.
Right.
Okay. Also, if the community's not demanding excellence out of those leaders, their mayors, the city councilmen, You see the business leaders, all those, the church, I mean, everybody. If you're not demanding excellence, guess what? Well, what happened yesterday, we may be going right back in that direction. I'm really being honest with you. You just stated to me that they basically give one institution this much money and say, hey, that's all you need to have. Now, I don't know if that's factual truth you said, but it made me feel some type of way when you said that.
Well, I mean, that is, it just is what
but it is. I got you. I understand. Hey, you're down there in PG County, my world, man. So it's always good to have you come up
here.
You
know, our leaders, I can't speak for them. We in Jackson. I can't speak for what's going on in Jackson.
I got you.
But I'm proud of the leadership that we have.
I know.
I think we're moved in the right direction.
That's good. Okay. Hey, it's always happening, man. Every time I didn't grow up my dad's side of the family. When I meet people from that area, I love it, man, because you guys are actually some great people down there in 61. I don't get that much time to get out there too much. Maybe me and the commissioner get out there this year. But any important words for us, Commissioner? I'm not commissioner. I'm sorry. I'm talking about DeKeither. But any important words, Mr. House Representative?
Well, Jason, what I wanted to do is I want to say before I leave.
Yes, sir.
Is that we've been talking a lot about west of 55, and I want to challenge all. I don't know how far this station broadcast goes, but I want to challenge all the leaders west of 55. We need to start working together as a unit, and we need to address. We need to start coming up with innovative ways to address issues of economic development, education, infrastructure, and we need to develop a West of 55 plan to make life better for the citizens.
Better quality life. You're right.
And I think that we have the capacity to do that as a group. You're talking about everybody west of 55. That's a lot of leaders. Yeah, that's a lot. It could be. It's you're gonna have a lot of chaos.
You're right.
But we can do it. We can get it together. I'm foolish enough to believe that we can do it. If we wrote a check for almost $1 billion to two. In the last 3 years, we wrote a check for over $1 billion to 3 places in this state for economic development. I mean, if you wrote a check to Southwest Mississippi for $350 million for infrastructure and all that kind of stuff, you could have a different look at Southwest Mississippi. Okay?
I know.
All right.
I see how you're thinking though.
All right. Now we want a check.
Right.
All right. But if you don't want to give us one, then we create our own. And that's what my challenge is to the leadership west of 55. Okay, if the leadership and the legislator doesn't want to write us a check to help do the same thing that you're doing in Holly Springs and Madison and in the Golden Triangle, then the leadership over here, we need to come together and we need to create our own. And we can write our own checks.
If the commissioner was here right now, one thing he's always talking about is like 5 areas for economic development, broadband. You got to have good water system there, infrastructure there. These are the type of things you already know that brings in economic development. And you gave them a charge, like you always, and you stand on your lead by that charge. Hey, anytime you're in town, man, you got some time.
Hey, thanks for inviting me.
Always.
All right.
Pleasure to meet you there. Hey, guys, let's go and wrap it up for me this evening. Before I leave out here, though, just a few things, guys. The weather did drop this weekend. Probably some little bug going out there. So, hey, make sure we take care of our elders out there, the children. Let's stay hydrated. Let's keep our immune system up and up. Other than that, guys, as Commissioner always states, please never let anyone bring you to a point where you got to hate those, okay, then, who are in your community, whatnot, though. Let's spread this word of love, not just by just saying it, but spread it with action, whatnot, though. Other than that, guys, be safe and have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Hey, the man, take me on out.
To our communities, it took real-life heroes like Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King,